Hey, what's going on, guys? If you have built campaigns using Infusionsoft's Campaign Builder, you have probably stumbled across the Infusionsoft Decision Diamond. Now, the Decision Diamond has plenty of intricacies and quirks of its own, but this video is about a common mistake I see people make, and it has nothing to do with the rules of the Decision Diamond. It has to do with when a Decision Diamond should or should not be used. So stick around, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so you have probably used the Decision Diamond to branch people into one sequence or another based on things we know about them. And that is the most common scenario where a Decision Diamond is used. You can put people who are left-handed over here, people who are right-handed over there. Or you can put your current subscribers over there and then people who have not yet subscribed over here, and you can create two different experiences for those contacts, right? That is where a Decision Diamond should be used. But the problem I've been seeing lately, and it's not just isolated to recent history, I've seen this over the years as well, is that a lot of people try to use a Decision Diamond when they don't need one, and it only complicates their campaigns further. So here's what I'm talking about. If you have a situation where you want someone to do something, right? Oftentimes I'll see people use a Decision Diamond to branch people into two buckets. People who took that action and people who did not take that action. Let's say it's downloaded an ebook. People who download the ebook go up here. People who did not download the ebook go down there. Or even a purchase. People who purchase go down one path. People who do not purchase go down the other. Now, that seems normal, and I see people make this mistake all the time, so I'm not faulting them. This is because we, as humans, think that way. But the reason that I think this is a mistake is because with the Campaign Builder, there is a very important distinction for goals. Remember, goals have two functions. They start the automation that comes after them, and they also stop the automation that comes before them. So, if we know that the goal, when it's achieved, will stop the automation that comes before it, that means that we don't need to use a Decision Diamond to branch people into did take the action or did not take the action. Because as soon as they do that thing, download the file or make a purchase or whatever, as soon as they take that action, they're going to achieve a goal and move on downstream, right? They're also going to stop where they were. So that means if somebody is still in that sequence before the goal, they haven't taken the action. So you can build in your existing sequence, build your follow-up directly in there, and you know that the only people who are going to experience it are people who have not yet taken that action. So if you think about the nature of that Decision Diamond, did download, did not download, did purchase, did not purchase, you don't need that any longer because anyone who has not yet taken that purchase or taken that action will still be in the sequence preceding the goal. Now, I know this gets a little bit complicated, so let me run you through a few examples here. Okay, so the first example here, and just to be clear, these are from the open user group on Facebook, but I did remove the names to respect the privacy of the person who posted it. But I want to be clear that I am not casting any sort of judgment on them for asking these questions. I see questions like these all the time. I just want to talk about it here as a real-world example, as maybe a way that we could simplify things and hopefully save you some confusion down the road. So the question is, they're working on a texting campaign using sales message, and they have the first half of it taken care of, but they want to know if they are suggestions for setting up the API goals for whether or not a text message goes through. So if it does, they go up here, and if it does not go through, they go down there. And so I have rebuilt that campaign or a section of that campaign here. And the confusion that people run into is they see these as either or, right? Either a successful message went through or it did not go through successfully, and so they go down here. But the reason that I feel like this is redundant is because of this little flag, right? So that flag means that this sequence will stop immediately if a goal is achieved. So if a successful text message is sent, this goal is going to stop this sequence. So we don't really need the unsuccessful part of this campaign. We can actually just delete that component because we know that if it was unsuccessful, they're going to stay in here. So we could just update this to have the original text message sequence and secondary attempts. we could build the unsuccessful follow-up into this original sequence here, because we know that the only reason someone would be in here is if they had not yet achieved this goal. And then the moment that the text message is sent successfully, they'll move on into this sequence. So that is example one, just a simpler way of handling the same scenario with a few fewer variables. Now, the second situation here, the second example I want to talk through is another common question that we bump into. It's about using the email open goal in this situation. So similarly, they want to send an email to people, and then if they don't open the email, they want to send it again. So I have rebuilt this campaign. So you can see we've got the original email here, and the person who asked this question wasn't sure how to structure this. So they said they have the resend email here, and they were looking at it as like, well, I want them to go down here. If they open it, I want them to go up here, but if they don't open it, I want them to go down there. And again, this is one of those scenarios where I feel like we're overthinking it, right? Because of this sequence setting, the sequence is going to stop as soon as this goal is achieved. That means that we can build the resend attempts right into this and resend attempts, right? So we don't need a separate sequence at all. We can just bake in 2 or 3 additional attempts here, because as soon as they open that email, this goal is going to progress them on down the road, and it'll of course also stop the automation there. So again, this is one of those, we learn to see goals as these transition points, and we know, of course, that they start the automation, but people oftentimes forget that the people who are in this sequence, we know 2 things about them. We know that they achieved the goal prior to it, and we know that they have not yet achieved the goal after it. So that gives us the ability, the flexibility to put in, delay timers and additional follow-ups and reminders, nudging them towards this. In fact, you could have as many reminders as you think it will take. Now, for a specific goal that like an email open, you might not want to do 10 different touch points. But if it's a consultation that you really need to get someone to book, you might keep following up with them for a series of months. Or if it's a purchase that has a longer buying decision or a longer incubation period, sometimes the automation is going to wind up being months or years long, and that's okay, because you can build for the worst case scenario, knowing as soon as they achieve this goal, they will move on. So hopefully those 2 examples help illustrate some different ways you can consolidate your campaigns and avoid having those branches that can be difficult to track down, or can wind up with having the same contact in 2 different sections of a campaign. Hey guys, that is it. Thank you for watching. If you have any feedback, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. If you know anyone that this video can serve, feel free to send it to them. And if you want more on the Infusionsoft Campaign Builder, check out my CB Trilogy course. Peace.